All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM Rakar. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. Peace and salutations to the elect, the house of David. I want to do a lesson on doing what's pleasing unto the Lord. I was gathered with some brothers last night, and we were talking about this very topic. We touched on it briefly. Basically, we were just basically talking about what we need to be doing in these last days, how to stay in the spirit, and doing what's pleasing unto the Lord should be at the forefront of our minds. And I'm going to start off with the book of Ecclesiasticus that you see on the screen. Book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 2, and we're going to start at verse 15. It says they that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. Yeah, so if you love the Lord, you'll keep his ways. That's pleasing unto the Lord, keeping his ways, being obedient. It says they that fear the Lord will not disobey his word. And that's what we have to, have at the forefront of our mind, the fear of the Lord. The scriptures say in Proverbs 1 that the fear of the Lord, let me just get that real quick. Proverbs 1:7, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So you have to fear the Lord. That's the very beginning. If you want to know where to start, it starts with fearing the Lord. All right. So back in Sirach chapter 2. Oh, and Ecclesiasticus, another scripture in the book of Sirach, chapter 19. Is it verse 18? Yeah. Sirach chapter 19:18. The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him. And I have this highlighted because this is a beautiful scripture. Sirach 19:18. The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him. So if you want to be accepted of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, you have to fear the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the first step of being to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtain of his love. Wisdom obtaineth the Lord, the love of the Lord. So when you out here and you're applying the law, statute, commandments, and you're moving about with wisdom, that's pleasing unto the Lord. And that's really the spirit of this video. What's pleasing unto the Lord. Having the Lord look down on you and being well pleased. Back in the book of Sirach chapter 2, verse 17, they that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight. You have to humble your soul in the sight of the Lord. And that is so key, because humility is a huge part of this walk. Humility allows the opportunity for us to basically look back and understand that we were going off, that we were in the congregation of the dead before being woken up to this truth. And we should have that much more appreciation for being woken up to this truth. What's that? Proverbs 16:21. No, it's Proverbs 21:16. Sorry. Proverbs 21:16. It says, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So when you don't have the understanding, when you wander out of the way of the understanding of this word, when you don't have this truth, you remain in the congregation of the dead. So we have to be that much more appreciation that we've been woken up to this truth, and that the Lord have breathed the breath of life into us, through the scriptures, through the law, statutes, and commandments of what we need to do. So again, it says they that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight. So humility is key. Being humble is key. All right, let's get a couple of scriptures on being humble and what that does for you. Colossians chapter 3, verse 12. It says, put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering. Okay, so, and that's key, because the first line of verse 12, it says, put on therefore as the elect of the Most High. So as the elect, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind. So again, going back to Sirach chapter 2, it It says, verse 17, they that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight. So elect men will humble their souls in the sight of the Lord. And as of the elect, put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering. You know, and that's another meekness is something else, because the scriptures say the meek shall inherit the earth. See, I already have it pulled up. Matthews 5:5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. You know, so that's being meek is being attached to the elect. Okay, so let's go back to Colossians 3:12. Read that one more time. Put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering. Okay, because we have to be long suffering as well, because the Lord was long suffering with us. You know, they don't put up with a whole bunch of madness from the children of Israel. You know, let's go to 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 6. It says, humble yourselves. Again, staying on humility and being humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time. So in due time, that humility that you put on, the Lord will exalt you if you're doing what's pleasing unto him. Okay? Because that's what this is all about. Verse 7, it says, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Yeah. The Lord care for, that's how this works, man. You pay attention and you give the Lord your energy, and you're doing what's pleasing to him, he's going to take care of you. You know, he's going to exalt you in due time. You know, and but you have to believe it. You have to believe that. And if you don't believe that, then, that's a lack of faith. And the Lord is looking for faith when he returns. You know what I mean? He's looking for faith. You know, so that should be at the forefront of our minds, of our thoughts. You know, what's pleasing unto the Lord. All of our decision making should be with the spirit of, how does YAHAWASHI feel about this? Do they approve of this? That's what we should be thinking about. Is this a good example to brothers? You know, how does this affect my path to salvation? So anything that you're getting into, any decisions that you have to make when you walking out here in this world that's actually contrary to the Lord, you have to think about all of these things. How does this affect my salvation? Am I being a good example? How does YAHAWASHI feel to this? Because remember, we're being watched by the angels. So, you got to tread lightly and you got to be careful. 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 6. It says, and whether we be afflicted, it is for your consolation and salvation. Right? So whether you be afflicted, so when you're afflicted and when you're going through things and you're facing tribulation, remember, it is for your consolation and salvation. That's the whole purpose. That's what it's for. Okay? And you can humble yourself in different ways. You humble yourself knowing that, you were going off and that you ain't know a damn thing. And now that the Lord has entrusted you with his word, and, but also being humble is a part of being afflicted. Is being, when you humble yourself, you afflict yourself. You're because in this world, it's hard to really, when you're walking about in your daily lives, man, being a man of the Lord is not always easy. So humbling yourself in the sight of the Lord is one thing, and then humbling yourself just to try to get through your daily lives, that's it's another thing. You're trying to, but you're afflicting yourself, because this world is full of filth, man, and garbage and madness, and you're trying to stay in the spirit, and then you got your flesh coming at you. It's a war, your flesh versus your spirit, man. So again, 2 Corinthians 1:6 says, and whether we be afflicted, it is for your consolation and salvation. So being afflicted, the purpose of it is for your consolation and salvation, which is effectual in the enduring of the same sufferings which we also suffer, or whether we be comforted, it is for your consolation and salvation. So remember, other brothers are suffering, being afflicted. So you got to pray for other brothers as well. Verse 7, and our hope of you is steadfast, knowing that as ye are partakers of the sufferings, so ye shall also be of the consolation. So knowing that you're partakers of sufferings, you are also partakers of the consolation and the prize and the salvation. So you have to keep that in mind. You have to keep pushing, because that salvation is near, man. It's near. Romans 13 and 11. It says, Romans 13 and 11. Just highlight it real quick. And knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than what we Slack. Read that again. Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. So that salvation is around the corner. We see these prophecies coming to pass. We see these wars and these rumors of wars. We see them implementing the mark of the beast, that microchip. We see people bugging out. This world really can't get any worse. And at that moment, the Lord's he's gonna come with great glory, man, and bring war to this place and burn this place and do it and give this place what it deserves. So right now, for the job for us is just to endure, do what's pleasing in the Lord. Ephesians chapter 4, because this is pleasing to the Lord as well. And I have it highlighted. Ephesians 4 and 22, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. So you got to put off that old man. That's pleasing to the Lord. Verse 23, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. So you have to be retaught. Your spirit has to be renewed. You got to be baptized, with this word, with the washing of this word. Be washed with the word. Verse 24, and that ye put on the new man. This is what's pleasing to the Lord. And that ye put on the new man, which after the Most High is created in righteousness and true holiness, man. Being separate from this world, separating yourself from, the ways of this world, the ways of the wicked, not being seduced by the wicked, man. Let me get that real quick. Proverbs, what's that? 16 and 18? No, it's 18 and 16. Yeah, I think Proverbs 18, 16, I believe. I'll find it. Slocky brothers. Wicked seduce, yeah. Oh, here it is. Proverbs 12 and 26. It says, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. So in this world, the wicked, when you walking around, man, and you just going on in your daily life, man, the way of the wicked, man, tries to seduce the righteous, man. And you got it again. It's a fight. That spirit versus the flesh. And our job is to put it off. So back in Ephesians 4 and 22, back in verse 24, it says, and that ye put on the new man after the Most High, which after the Most High is created in righteousness and true holiness. So it's about separating yourself from the world, because the ways of the wicked will try to seduce you, man. Remember, it's about doing what's pleasing unto the Lord. Matthew chapter 22, verse 36. Master, which is the great... Let's just start at 35. Then one of them, which was the lawyer, asking him a question, tempting him and saying, Master, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Yahawashi said unto them, Thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. That's pleasing unto the Lord. Loving the Lord with your spirit, with your entire spirit. Verse 38, this is the first and the great commandment. So the first commandment is to love the Lord with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and all thy mind. Verse 39, and the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. So this is what's pleasing unto the Lord. You know, being obedience, keeping his law, statutes, and commandments, having charity, the second greatest commandment, and the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So being brotherly, man, the Lord loves that. That's pleasing unto the Lord. And the best way for you to be brotherly is charity, man. The best way to be charitable to a brother is being a great example and feeding their spirit. You know, them looking at you going, all right, cool, I need to be a little bit more like that, or taking some, you know, it's a give and take, man. You build and you grow from watching other brothers, from being around brothers who are, you know, in the spirit, who are looking to please the Lord. You know, you don't want to catch yourself. You don't want to be hanging around niggas all the time, man. You don't really want to hang around niggas ever, but you know, in this world, you know, it's, you know, whatever. But you know, again, it's about doing what's pleasing unto the Lord, and what's pleasing unto the Lord is loving the Lord with all your soul, all your mind, and being brotherly, man, and loving thy neighbor as thyself, being charitable. And we know what the Lord says about charity, man. Let's get that really quick. 1 Peter 4:8. It says, and above all things have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. So and it says fervent charity, man. You know, being fervent, you know, is you know, doing things to the max. So have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. You know, take care of one another. Feed brothers' spirits. That shall cover a multitude of your sins, man. Because the Lord is looking to forgive us. He's looking to, you know, be long suffering towards us. And you could do that by, you know, watching over your brothers, helping them out, even monetarily if you can, if they need it, if it's necessary, you know, but more so feeding their spirit, being charitable, you know, to brothers according to their spirit. That's pleasing unto the Lord. We get a couple more scriptures and I'm gonna close this out. 1 John chapter 3, verse 22. It says, and whatsoever we ask, we receive of him, because we keep his commandments and do those things that are pleasing in his sight. You know, and this is, man, being like, you want the Lord to look down on you and be well pleased. You want him to look down on you and go, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for faith in the earth. I'm looking for men who are looking to be obedient and looking to put off this world, you know, and sacrifice for my sake. You know, we'll sacrifice whatever it takes, you know, and a lot of times that's your family. You know, I happen to be doing this lesson on so-called Mother's Day. You know, today's Mother's Day, you know, and you got to put off these holidays, man. Because these holidays ain't about nothing, man. They all go back into some idol worship, some Queen of Heaven worships, just some madness, you know. And when you're looking to please the Lord, you ain't looking to serve no idols, man. The Lord hates that. You know, that's why the scriptures say, love the Lord with all thy soul, thy spirit, and thy mind. Because he wants you to love him, not serve other gods. He's a jealous power, man. Read that again. 1 John 3:22. And whatsoever we ask, we receive of him, because we keep his commandments and do those things that are pleasing in his sight. Verse 23. And this is his commandment, that we should believe on the name of his son, YAHAWASHI HaMashiach, and love one another as he gave us commandment. He gave us commandment to love one another and to love him. Love the Lord, believe on him, and love your brothers, man. Verse 24. He that keepeth his commandments dwelleth in him, and he in him. And hereby we know that he abideth in us by the spirit which he hath given us. Yeah, man. So it's about learning the law, statutes, commandments, learning what you got to do, keeping them to the best of your ability, and having faith and believing on the name of Yahawashi HaMashiach, believing in the power of it. You know, because that's how we're saved, man. You know, let me grab that real quick. Acts 4:12. There is neither Acts 4:12. There is neither salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. So that's connected to our salvation, man. You know, having the name of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is connected to salvation. There's no other name given under the heaven, man, whereby we must be saved. So you got to call in that name. You got to pray in that name. You got to believe in the power of it. All right, I'm going to close out with this last scripture, Sirach. Ecclesiasticus chapter 1, verse 26. It says, if thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments, and the Lord shall give her unto thee. Verse 27, for the fear of the Lord is wisdom and instruction, and faith and meekness are his delight. So having faith is the delight of the Lord. You want to please the Lord? You want him to delight in you? Faith and meekness are his delight. Verse 27, for the fear of the Lord is wisdom and instruction, and faith and meekness are his delight. You know, having faith, believe, brothers, believe that he is who he is, and he's going to do what he says. Hey, the prophecy hasn't failed yet. None of them. And we see him coming to pass. We see the prophecies coming to pass. Everything is just as the scriptures say. Verse 28, distrust not the fear of the Lord when thou art poor, and come not unto him with a double heart. Don't come unto the Lord with a double heart. Don't be halfway. Don't believe and then not believe. And, well, how is this impossible? Nah, man. You got to give the Lord your whole spirit. Verse 29, be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest. Yeah, don't be a hypocrite in the sight of men. You believe this when you're alone. You believe it when you're among whoever you're among. You know? Put this whole thing on, man. And don't worry about what comes with it. Yeah, you're going to be, you know, you're going to be hated for the Lord's sake if you're true about this. But so what? You'll be hated amongst your family. You'll be hated amongst whoever. It don't matter. But don't be a hypocrite. And it says, take good heed to what thou speakest. So just be careful what you're saying. Be careful the energy and the vibration that you're putting out. Watch your words. You know, the scriptures say life and death are on the power of the tongue. So, you know, you want to give life with the things that you're speaking. You know, and those things that you're speaking is the holy conversation. You want to have holy conversation as much as possible around people, because that gives life. All right, verse 30, exalt not thyself, lest thou fall and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so the Most High discover thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit. Yeah, so you got to be sincere. Don't come with a double heart, but be sincere with what you're doing. Be sincere about this walk. Be sincere about pleasing the Lord and watching over brothers and in your prayers, you know, and things of that nature. All right, so with that, I hope you brothers were edified. Call halal Yahawah, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.